Sorry again. I was discussing with Mozambique, or he put on his channel that he got invited to Oxford Union to debate Tommy Robinson, and he turned it down. And I said to him, I was disappointed because I thought he would be my choice, or Shahid Butt would be my other choice. Only people think they'd have fisticuffs, but I thought because they're both quite street level people, I thought they would actually be quite good. But then I said to him, I said, maybe you might be, I put your name forward. Would you debate Tommy Robinson in Oxford Union? Would you do it?
Would I do it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wicked, that was great. That's a really straightforward answer. Wicked. I mean, I
can unpack it for you if you want.
Yeah, do it. Let's do that as well, because I'm going to do a longer video. I thought that because you had a really good conversation with Danny Tomo, where you seem to take the sting out of things he was saying just by being straight. I thought.
Yeah.
You know, and so I thought. And then I saw your criticism of the Muslim guy who he spoke to.
Yeah.
And so I thought, put up or shut up. Not meaning like that, but I thought that.
So there's two schools of thought, or two types of thinkings. The people that don't want Muslims to interact with Tommy Robinson believe that he's doing an injustice to the British people. He does not represent the British people. There's enough evidence that's come out to suggest and to prove that he is a puppet of the Zionist regime. He admitted himself that he just received £100,000 from Robert Shillman. People have been saying this for ages, right?
Yeah.
So people are saying there's actually no point emboldening a grifter to continue his grift, especially when that grifter in that interaction is going to say blasphemous things to the Prophet and misrepresent the scripture, and there is a possibility that you won't be able to respond to everything that's being said, and that's why maybe you might do an injustice. So that's the one school of thought. The other school of thought is saying, look, that's fine and we respect that, but Tommy Robinson, whether we like it or not, has become a household name.
Yes.
He does command a great deal of pull.
Yeah.
Whether the pull is good, whether the pull is bad, whatever, but he is on the table and he does need to be confronted. He does need to be responded to.
Yeah.
And if we are not responding, then we're allowing him to speak kind of restricted with regards to Islam. So these are the two types of people. And different people have got different opinions. As you can see, the mere fact that I come to Speaker's Corner means that I want to interact with these people, right?
Yeah. And on the left, they call it no platforming. It's like you don't give platforms to people who you believe are fascists. I don't believe Tommy's a fascist myself, because I think fascists, you can see fascists, if you look into it, fascists, they hate Tommy Robinson. Like actual fascists, people like Collett, I think his name is.
Right. Yeah, I'd probably say he's xenophobic. Yeah, xenophobia is like a hatred of a culture or a religion. He does, because he said, I hate Islam, I don't want Islam, I want to remove Islam. All of this was, these quotes are taken from his session yesterday.
Yes.
The clip is on, 5 Pillars, where he's saying, I would remove Islam. There's people on his stage saying remove Islam from any establishment here in the UK, from any, from Whitehall, and people are cheering and clapping. So there is clear xenophobia towards Islam, and he's unapologetic about it. His last session in Oxford, he said, I just don't want Islam. I don't like Islam. I think Islam is a danger and a threat. So that is xenophobia. That's exactly the definition of xenophobia.
Sure, but he's not scared, he's just against.
Yeah, so that's why I don't use the I don't use the term Islamophobia, and I haven't in this discussion.
I thought that you. No, I don't really, but I thought that you were a bit. When I saw Tommy talking to that Muslim guy in Jerusalem.
Yeah.
When I saw that, I thought, you know what? That's actually, I like that because I liked it because his general thing about Islam was that Tommy just met a bad lot. They sent him in the wrong. He met Anjem Chowdhury's posses and Salafist Islam spitting at soldiers, and so I just thought that his general thing was to say, oh, you just met the wrong Muslims, Tommy. And in the end, but I thought what you picked him up about Palestine was correct. I thought, yeah.
I wish you were right in the sense that, if it was just a matter of him meeting bad Muslims, there's enough documentaries that have been made and enough interactions that he's had with people and sat down with people.
Yes.
And he's just refusing to accept basic things.
He got set off on a journey by, obviously 9/11 happened, 7/7 happened, 7/7 happens from people who live nearby, Luton. And I just thought he got propelled on this journey. And I thought that guy, his general thing was to, and also he's got to be quite careful what he says himself in Jerusalem, hasn't he?
But when you've got the likes of Tommy now, he's calling a cab driver a Paki, yeah? Where's that? Who's forcing him to do that, right?
Tommy?
Yeah. Then on the other hand, in that same kind of discussion or that tirade that he's having in Italy, he's saying if there was a war tomorrow with Israel and somebody else, I would be on the side of Israel.
Yes, he would, yeah.
And what's that got to do with growing up in Luton and having a negative impact?
Well, it just will propel them along this journey. Obviously, when he was first jailed
I think
in the
that's
UK,
taking accountability away from Tommy.
Maybe.
Because he's a grown man, right?
Yeah.
And he's got enough people around him. Yeah. I think, yeah. And I think he's had enough. He's sat there, he's read, according to him, he released his own version of the Quran. Yeah, and nowhere in the Quran does it say to kill disbelievers indiscriminately or innocent disbelievers. It doesn't say that anywhere. Anyone who's read it from cover to cover has to admit that and say it doesn't say that. It doesn't say kill babies. It doesn't say kill the city of disbelievers. Kill your friends and family if they're disbelievers. However, I can give you references from the Bible right now off the top of the dome. Yeah, Exodus 22:20 says kill the disbelievers. Deuteronomy 13:15 says kill a city of disbelievers.
And
Deuteronomy
and everything.
Deuteronomy 13:6 says kill your friends and family if they happen to be disbelievers. And the verse you're referring to is 1 Samuel 15 verse 3. Kill babies. And kill donkeys.
Yeah, what's wrong with the donkey done?
What's the baby done?
Nice one. So tell us your channel, your name, and you'll say yes, you would do it.
Yeah, so my channel is Smile to Jannah Extra.
Yep.
And I've been making videos on Tommy for quite a while. He knows where to find me. In fact, he's blocked me, ironically, on Twitter.
Oh, well, so, obviously we can get unblocked in Oxford.
Well, ironically, for somebody that claims to champion freedom of speech on a platform where he's talking about freedoms, we're talking about him being banned, and then Elon coming and giving him that ray of, sunshine and joy and letting him speak. He's blocking other people that are challenging, and you've seen me. I don't have antagonistic.
No, I didn't think you were antagonistic at all. I didn't think Danny was being antagonistic.
Danny
either.
didn't block me.
He was no. I didn't think. I thought both of you had a productive conversation. Which I said to you, but I was a bit drunk last time. But I don't know about that. But well, there's a definite yes then.
I'm ready.
Thanks very much, brother.
Anytime, any place, like Habib said. Send me location.
Lovely. Oxford. Nice one. Thank you.
Absolutely. Take care.
Right, what should I name that to really get a...
Call it the most handsome man on the planet. Why are you laughing? It's facts right here.
Yeah, if you can think of a good name, I'll stick it up on my thing, but if you can think of a good name which is going to... I'll speak to some people who will do some AI and try and get some viral name on it.
Yeah, you can say Smile to Jannah challenges Tommy.
If they've already asked Mozam Beg, he'll know who's asked him, so he'll be able to put
Last time I checked, they asked...
You haven't got no beef with Mozam Beg, have you?
No.
No, he's a
good guy. I did a podcast with him.
I was in the same film as him years and years ago.
Yeah. It's rolling, yeah?
Go.
So, the person that apparently is going to debate Tommy Robinson is someone called Abdullah Al-Andalusi.
It's already done?
Apparently, yeah.
Oh, that's a waste of my time.
But I've heard that it's hearsay at the moment.
I did hear his name mentioned.
Yeah.
I don't know who he is, but I did hear.
Yeah, he's, mashallah, he's very good.
Yeah,
he's very good.
Nice.
He's very good. And in fact, search his stuff, and I think you'll like it.
Yeah. Maybe we can get some seats in Oxford and have a listen.
Yeah, go there.
I think it's really necessary to be done. Really.
Definitely
in all
a discussion. Yeah. I mean, just like you're saying, the people that call themselves patriots, they are not a monolith. Yeah, just like you've got Tommy Robinson, which is coming. Yeah. I mean, he is saying a lot of stuff that a lot of patriots are actually unhappy with. For example, they're saying
Zionist
that
stuff. They're really pissed off.
yeah, they're pissed off with
yeah.
his Zionist stuff. They're actually pissed off with even his inclusion of other races. They're pissed off with the
The
fact
Nazis are, yeah.
that yeah. No, I would
The
even
far
say,
right
I mean, again, like
Yeah.
they wouldn't
I mean, they
like
call
you.
themselves patriots.
Do you see? So it's just like Tommy Robinson. They don't like being called far right. They say we are right. That's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, I would say that all of this comes under the guise of populism,
Yes.
right? If we are to use like intellectually, sound theology.
Yeah,
Not theologies, but you know what I'm saying, like terminologies.
I like populism. I mean, I think that I'm quite horrified by what Rupert Lowe says, but I think he's straight up.
So national populism is what all of this comes under, and I don't know if you noticed the crowd of Tommy Robinson when Reform and Advance and Restore was mentioned, the crowd generally went for Restore. So that crowd they resonate more with Restore. Tommy was actually pushing forward Advance,
Which is Ben Habib.
Ben Habib, the Pakistani guy who's being backed by. You can stand there if you want.
Is it right?
Yeah, you can stand there if you want, no problem. So Ben Habib is a Pakistani guy.
Yeah.
His father is a Pakistani.
Yeah.
Who apparently is ethnically or culturally Muslim.
Yeah.
From the Punjab. But you saw him on Piers Morgan. The guy was an absolute shambles, right?
Yes.
I mean, a lot of patriots. How they addressed themselves, they weren't happy to hear that. I think they were really pissed off.
Yeah.
Saying, why is Tommy Robinson putting forward a Pakistani? The very guy from demographic that we're trying to wipe out, we're trying to get rid of him. Re-migration, mate.
Because Piers Morgan, he cancels Tommy Robinson, doesn't he? He won't speak to him, will he? He's of the old media who are we can not.
Didn't Piers Morgan ask Tommy Robinson to come on?
No, I don't think so.
Did he?
No, a few days ago there was something I saw, but I didn't look at the videos.
Right.
I don't know.
I mean, if he
So,
gets...
so do you think it's the end of the road for Tommy Robinson?
Do I think it's the end of the road?
Yeah.
No, I don't think it's the end of the road. I think the road is still going, but I do think the support Tommy Robinson is getting is wavering, and it's going to be replaced with a more coherent and more organized and more consistent methodology, because Tommy Robinson is very inconsistent. On the one hand, people
anti-Islam, you mean?
No, inconsistent in the sense that before he used to talk about migration, right? No migration, this, that. But on the other hand, there's so many clips of him saying, "Bring the Indians in." Yeah. I'm all right with the Sikhs. I'm all right with these guys.
He's a civic nationalist, isn't he? I mean, he what's his name? Nick Griffin did a 3-part takedown of the EDL, saying that he was an ethno-nationalist and Tommy was a civic nationalist.
Right.
The civics. Tommy's like, if you're proud of England, if you're black, if you're white, if you're Hindus, you're proud of being British, then you're British, isn't it? Well, and that's civic nationalism. Whereas Nick Griffin is an ethno-nationalist. He wants white people in, but he's actually. Have you seen Nick Griffin? You know, the ex-BNP.
Yeah.
You've seen him on 5 Pillars of Islam.
Yes.
And he's like. They love him. He's like, well, if we make a nice Islamic state, which is unmolested by the West, then they're all going to go over there, aren't they?
He's more consistent than Tommy. I mean, I've spoken to more hardline people than Tommy.
Yeah.
James Goddard. He used to come here in the park, and then I had a debate with him. I mean, he's clearly saying, no, you can't call a black person British. Like, I mean, do one. Like, that's absolute pathetic.
But there's a lot of black.
Yeah, exactly.
You get the whole Nottingham Carnival against you.
Yeah. No, but I mean, he doesn't care about that. He's there in Thailand with his ladyboys doing whatever he's doing. So, I mean, he's escaped from whatever's happening over here. But the point is that there is, people think Tommy Robinson's not going far enough. And there are people that are more consistent.
I like catch her, Bob.
Yeah. So now.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Well,
So because of that.
This one then.
Yeah. So because of that, Tommy Robinson, especially with his deal with the Zionists and stuff like that, he's seen as very inconsistent, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think it's been genuine at various times. I think one thing he did, he went up to Lake District and he talked that guy who was a Muslim who was accused of a grooming gang, and on the way up there he found out that this girl had been accusing lots of different people, and by the time he got to the guy, he was like, well, And the guy was like, "Oh no, what the hell do you want?" And he was like, "No, I haven't come to accuse you. I heard that this girl was accusing people, and she was accusing Asians who from the school days." And so he spent the time to clear the guy in one of his documentaries called the Phantom Rape Gang. And also, when he came out of jail one time, he linked up with Quilliam Foundation, Majid Nawaz, who I know is a flawed Muslim in lots of.
I mean,
lots of
Quilliam
ways.
Foundation, they are the ones that are quoted.
Yeah.
Ben Habib, when he was on Piers Morgan, he quoted the grooming report of Quilliam,
Right.
which was a part of a lot of misinformation. That number of 85% is actually, it's been debunked by scholars like Ella Cobain. But
85% Pakistanis.
Yeah.
We discussed this, didn't we, the other week? No, I think there is a there.
That report only took about 250 media cases.
But like the J,
It wasn't peer reviewed.
The J report. I remember. Was it the J report? They were saying that there was so many cases, which is all done by white people, and this is done by Pakistanis, and it didn't address the actual grooming scandal at all. And I was just like, everyone's going to see that as whitewash. You can't do that.
There's a few that happened. You had the X report, the NPCC report, the Home Office report, and you had recommendations that were actually given to the Conservative Party, and they ignored it.
Yeah, they did.
And that was clear. I mean, Boris Johnson was on LBC, and he was asked about how much money is going towards there, and he just trivialized it. But it's only when certain people have brought it to light. But then the question is, fantastic, you brought it to light. Just please don't let it become weaponized by certain people that have an agenda.
No, just arrest people. They should have arrested people from the bloody start. But Labour had this deal, communal deal. They call it was the Barandi, when the families from Kashmir, they all get their people together to vote for Labour, and that's why they hid it under the carpet for so many years until it exploded, wasn't it? But
I don't know about that.
Well, families. They relied on a block vote of Islam in the north of England.
I don't know if that was proven, but I know
They
cultures.
call it the Independent Candidates Alliance. They're the ones who are against it, and they're Muslims in Birmingham. But behind all these statistics, they reckon that 1 in 4 or 1 in 5 adults says they were abused as kids, and that's across the board. So and no one's doing anything about that.
The police, the system that we have is simply not punishing the people enough that have committed crimes against children.
Yes.
In fact, the bar is so low, you'll get more for defacing the church statue in Parliament Square than you will for abusing a kid.
And you wonder why, because of the judges, you wonder what they're up to.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I mean, just look at the connection of, there's so much. You look at the churches, that scandal, you look at Epstein. His religion hardly ever gets mentioned. Neville Husband, his religion doesn't get mentioned. All these churches, people don't say we need to change the Bible, even though, according to Christian scripture, the proto-evangelium of James, they believe that Mary was 12 and Joseph was 90. And in America, a lot of girls as young as 12 are getting married. People don't blame Christianity. They don't say that, we now need to, blame this entire block of people. Look what happened yesterday. The amount of Christians, the amount of whitewashing that was done via Tommy was saying, it's God. God told me, this is Jesus. The amount of God...
He seems to become a Christian all of a sudden, doesn't he?
Especially there was this guy that I think gave him like $200,000, Andy Burnham or someone like that.
No, Andy Burnham's a Labour MP.
Sorry, it was...
He's the one who's trying to become Labour leader.
It's Andy something.
Was it? American?
Yeah. An American Andy something. But when I was tweeting, I only, I think, wrote down Andy. But in that clip, he mentions the full name, who he went to. He got $200,000 off him when he was drunk. I'm hoping when you're drunk next time, I can get you can help me out. You're drunk, but I should get something out of it.
I'm trying not to be drunk here anymore.
It's the wrong place to be drunk because a lot of cameras and.
Oh, it's a bit of fun. You're allowed to drink in the park, but
No, so you may say something, you might get filmed, and then afterwards you might say, I don't believe that.
Yeah, that's the thing I do. After too many beers, I start get on my theories about who's running the world.
Who do you think? Who do you think has got immense control over British politics? Without getting yourself in trouble, obviously.
I think there's a pedo-Satanist alliance who have been in charge. since they came out of Babylon. I think so. I think Candace Owens is correct.
Yeah.
I think all this Sabbatean Frankists and stuff. I mean, you just got to look in the Epstein files I was saying to you last time about Maria Farmer. She was the first person to get interviewed. Whitney Webb interviewed Maria Farmer, and she said they wouldn't let her eat in this country club because she wasn't Jewish. We're Jewish supremacists. Epstein and what's her name? The woman. Ghislaine Maxwell.
Yeah.
They are Jewish supremacists. Whether that's a good Jew or a bad Jew, it's like I don't mind about good and bad Jews.
Yeah.
I don't mind about good and bad Muslims.
Yeah.
I just want everyone not to kill each other.
Coexist. Yeah.
To coexist.
You know, if
if they can all sort it out with Tommy, and Elder lot, and we can sort out, especially in North England, because I was talking to some restore and reform people yesterday.
Let me ask you a question before you get into that.
Yep.
If you were maybe walking down the street and you saw a group of people that had gathered, they were on stage. You had these three, people that they had dressed up like Jews with kippahs on their head, and the audience was saying, "Take it off, take it off," and then they took it off and they were throwing it down, and you had placards saying "F-U-C-K Judaism," and then going around with placards. How do you think the police and the news would have reacted to that?
Absolutely, I can't argue that. I mean, this is what convinces me. That
what do you think would have happened to them?
Well, there's you aren't allowed to insult. We see what they've done about not insulting Judaism, haven't they? And I don't think Judaism is necessarily bad. We see Jews on the Palestine March, don't you?
But if somebody had done that in the UK, in London, how do you think the media would be reacting, and what do you think the police would have done?
Well, the media, they call people anti-Semitic just for not supporting Israel or for saying there's a genocide, don't they?
Yeah.
So, I mean, you ain't gonna convince me about any of that, and it's very sad.
Do you think they would have been arrested?
Maybe.
Realistically,
there's a imbalance, isn't there? Which you're pointing out, and I agree with you.
Yeah.
And I had an Israeli family staying in my house on October 7th. They missed their flights going back.
Be careful about that. You might go out, come back, and they've probably taken it over.
Might
have been promised to them 5,000 years ago.
I better not say too much, because they still live there.
Yeah, family.
But I know.
Well, I can say that.
People say, I won't say they say, half. People say half are against the fascist Israeli state.
That's not what the statistics say.
Well,
statistics are 80% plus.
I saw.
Are in favor of what's going on.
Yeah, I saw.
The war in Iran.
Yeah.
The ethnic cleansing. The genocide of the Palestinians.
Yeah.
More than 80%.
Yeah.
And that's a conservative figure.
Yeah.
Because I try to be precise with my numbers and language.
Yeah.
So absolutely.
Yeah, I try not to. I always go Tommy's things. I try not to have anything against them, particularly because they can see who I am. It's like when I talk to them and they go, "Oh yeah, we know you're a lefty," and they don't give me any grief. Maybe they would give you. Maybe they would give Muslim grief. I don't know if they would.
Yeah.
But I think, if the big money wants us all to fight each other, do I want to fall for that crap, or do I want to say, right, listen, which is why you want to debate Tommy if Mr.
I would.
If Mr. Andalusia drops out.
I mean, Mr. Andalusi will, I think, do a fantastic job.
Oh, nice.
I have complete faith in him, and I really do like your principle, which is that you understand the powers that be that want to divide, and you are just set to not let them succeed, at least with yourself and the people around you.
I haven't got as much money as them,
Yeah.
but why just give up?
Yeah, absolutely. And I agree with you. And that's why I'm not saying that the people on the other side don't want dialogue and do want discord. I do think people like Tommy Robinson are not a force for good. Genuinely, I've seen people with knowledge have sat down, and that guy is a grifter. Yeah, he's somebody that wants discord, and he does what will get him the pay packet, and that's become his brand now. Anytime he's quiet, he will say something in sedentary like for example, the 2 British aid workers that died in Palestine, rather than, if he truly wants to make Britain great again, his first reaction should have been, oh my God, Britons have lost their life in, unspeakable violence, and, this is unacceptable. He started mocking them. What are they doing there in the first place, and this and that. The aid workers, Tommy.
He wants to...
the British aid workers. But because it goes against Robert Shillman and his funding and Ezra Levant, what did he say? He said, Ezra Levant, and I'm paraphrasing here, he's discovered me, he trained me, he helped me.
He did,
He's on stage saying this in America.
He did do
he's
it,
pretty much, on his knees, and he's going full force, mate.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking...
He's one of the most popular journalists in Europe, Tommy, in terms of views.
I mean, he's not technically a journalist.
You don't think he's a journalist?
No, I mean, technically speaking, he's not a journalist, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think he's done journalism.
It's like a hobbyist.
Whether I like it or not.
Hobbyist journalist.
But like that Syria one was certainly interesting, and or the Syrian refugee one was certainly. And that,
he was wrong.
And that guy who.
That's what happens when you're not a proper journalist. Then you start saying that this Syrian kid, did this, when in reality he didn't. Then the case went to court. But Tommy Robinson had to pay 100 grand.
Why were the? I know he did, but
then you repeated it again.
If you read the case notes, I mean, there's questions in it. I mean, I don't know why did all the teachers have to sign NDAs? Why was school shut down?
That's a different question, right?
Why did the Punjabi security guard say he was dealing with that kid who was violent? And he's got no reason to say that. But that's in that documentary, and I was like, that's questions.
Right, but the main question is, what the courts are interested in, did he do what Tommy said he did? And the answer was a resounding no. Did he do other things, and how was his reputation here and there? And did they have to sign this because they didn't want other pseudo-journalists interacting with them? I can't speak on, but at the very foundational level, did he do what Tommy said he did? No. It was clear cut wrong.
I thought there's questions in the.
Of course,
case,
there's always questions.
But like I say, I'm not expecting Tommy to be doctrinally correct, or you two. I just I like the idea of chatting. Good.
But I mean, there's a law of the land that if something has been, decided in court, you've appealed it, and still it's done. I mean, you've got to follow the law of the land, right?
That judge, he looked like he thought Tommy was like this from the start. He looked like he thought this is what he is from the start, and I just thought, I don't know. I think the way the British press and the judiciary have dealt with Tommy have just made him what he is. I think they've made big mistakes.
I think they have definitely tried to get rid of him by throwing names and stuff like that, which I think now he's just become like, if it comes to me, it goes back. Like, I don't care about that stuff, and I know there are people worse, but I don't think we should take away accountability from Tommy as well.
No, absolutely. But why I say they made big mistakes is because they made the same. They used to do the same thing with lefties. If a lefty becomes too much on the parapet, if people going out and protest, they would start all this. They would start all this in the press, and then they'd start to bring the
doing this
police
now
outside their
with the
house.
pro-Palestinian protests. Just because a couple of people, a couple of people apparently are anti-Semitic, therefore you should ban the protests. That's the most dumbest, undemocratic thing a person can think of in this day and age. But yet, the right doesn't understand, or the far right, even they don't understand that those protests being banned doesn't mean it's going to end there. After they're done with that, they're going to come to you morons. So just preserve this notion of a consistent understanding of freedom of speech in this country. You know what I mean? Be consistent. Now, if, for example, some of them were saying some mad stuff about Charlie Kirk. I don't agree with that.
Weren't they? I don't agree with that either.
I don't agree with that.
They said
shoot him in the neck
like Charlie Kirk. I thought that was very sad, but it's very much like a football chant as well, isn't it? It's down to that level of football, isn't it?
So I mean, you've got extreme leftists and you've got extreme right wingers as well, and the truth often lies in between both extremes.
I mean, like
that's why Islam says it's wasat. It's in the middle.
I was standing like this against the fence in Whitehall, just as the police were starting to hit people in Tommy's lot last time, the massive one last time.
Yeah.
And just as the police were starting to hit me, I was sitting back against the fence like this, and this kid next to me just started saying, left and right, they got to unite. You know, they're the same as us. We got the same thing. I was like filming him. I was like, mate, I'm crying. I said, you made me cry. I'm going to pretend it's the tear gas. But I filmed it. Like, I was like,
that's amazing.
I thought that's why I was there.
Yeah.
I thought, because I was really questioning myself. Why am I in the middle of Tommy's lot? And it was really nice being in the middle of the riot, to be honest, because back in the 90s, we was all anti-globalists, which they're against globalism.
I mean, I see your purpose, which is you're trying to find a middle ground to unite, to listen to both sides.
I'll probably get shot by both sides, isn't it?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I know many people, and you'll be able to tell from the comments of the discussion as well.
Yeah.
I mean, people appreciate balance
Yeah.
and consistency, especially
Yeah.
Muslims, and you will see that. And I see it generally speaking
Yeah.
when I have good discussions, people are proper glazing the other person.
Yeah,
saying,
yeah.
May Allah guide them, God bless
Yeah.
them. It's good you have these sorts of discussions
Yeah,
at
yeah,
Speaker's Corner, because I don't think we've had a long discussion. So when this goes up, you'll be able to see from the interactions of the people, and people appreciate
Nice.
balanced people like yourself.
I saw on Shahid Butt's page. I was trying to say to Shahid,
Islam 21C?
he was part of the ICA, the Independent Candidates Alliance in Birmingham.
I don't know.
And he didn't win. But he was famously convicted of terrorism in Yemen. But he said it was a dodgy court case, and they.
I don't know who he is.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Anyway, he trains. He fought in Bosnia. He doesn't mess about. And people said, I said, well, why don't you talk to Tommy? And someone said, this will just be a fight, And then I saw on his page, there was a guy who was a Christian nationalist.
Yeah.
Talking to him, saying, I respect you, but this, that, and the other, blah, blah, blah. And I clicked through to his page, and he was a Christian nationalist. I was like, oh, well, Shahid, he does chat to these people. So it's like, it's not all like lost, and you have to be on your side, we have to be on our side.
It's just that certain clips will get more airtime because they're divisive.
Yes,
Divisiveness gets more views, gets more clicks, and gets more monetization.
We all like that,
and then, of course, it lines our pockets. So.
Yeah.
But I mean, we've had a very good discussion, and it'll be interesting to see people's.
Are we going to put some up? Are you?
Yeah, well,
right, you've been filming.
Yeah.
We'll
nice
put
one. This up.
All right.
And I think discussions like this are the ones that need to be seen by the people.
Well, I mean, it's just what's happening in the world. It's like, to me here, Christianity versus Islam is boring. Versus Christianity versus Islam, I do not care.
Yeah.
But if we're talking about what's happening in the world and community cohesion, and not, I might convert to Islam one day. I might convert to Christianity one day. Doesn't matter. I just want us all to get on. You know what I mean? And be straight.
God bless you, sir.
Thank you.
What's your name?
Dave. Nice
Zishan.
Malang TV News.
Malang TV.
Malang TV News. I used to film Hamza for 3 years. Sat through all the court cases.
Oh, nice.
Abu Hamza in Finsbury Park. Yeah.
Okay.
Long time.
You told me.
A lot of Muslims used to watch my stuff.
Okay.
Back in the day, and then YouTube killed my channel. They said I was doing supporting terrorism and hate speech.
Oh.
Doing documentaries.
So much for free speech, huh? So check this out on Smile to Jannah Extra, inshallah. Make sure you subscribe, and make sure you guys share. Very good discussion.